my list. There's a bunch of them I've added tonight. You've seen a lot more than I've seen.
Well, I get home about 6 o'clock from the job, and for the next 5 hours, I'm usually watching something, and it's pathetic.
Well, it's all right. I usually watch an hour or two a night, and I usually just binge watch and finish. I'm trying to think of something else that I've seen recently that's not your normal show, but ESPN had Celtics and Lakers, and if you like the NBA
oh my
in the 80s,
gosh,
you'll like
three
that.
parts.
Yeah, it was
three
good.
parts. I didn't realize the NBA
good.
was in such damage.
I didn't realize either.
Yeah, that show.
But I will tell you, HBO had one before that, which was about Magic and Larry, which was very similar. And they actually took parts of that and put in the ESPN one, but all of them are good. I thought 3 was a little much, but it was still good. I still watched every one of them. Didn't have any problem with it.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Because that took me back to my freaking childhood.
Yes.
Holy
and
cow.
I followed the NBA then, but I don't now. But I sure did then.
It was
that's
brutal back then. Holy cow, watching some of those fouls that they had in the tackling.
And they allowed so much. Like, you could basically Larry Bird and guys could punch each other, and they just keep playing.
Oh, they get a technical, and then they go on.
Yeah. And, it's on ESPN right now. So if you have ESPN, if you get like Watch ESPN app, if you have to watch ESPN app, you can watch. The cool thing about the Watch ESPN app is if you click on it, you can watch stuff that just was shown yesterday. You can watch games that just ended a day before, an hour before. It's really cool. It's actually a lot better than watching ESPN and ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN News. You can actually watch pretty much anything you want, even local college games. So it's pretty cool. It's a good streaming app.
The College World Series, where they usually have 3 cameras.
Yes.
And they have one with the commentators, and then they have another one that has some of the commentators, and a third one where it's just behind home plate and no commentators, like you're at the game.
I know, it's awesome. It's great.
It's good stuff.
It's really good. So look out for that, too.
One I did not bring up because it is old news, but American Crime Story about the O.J. Simpson trial. Oh, my God. I was really surprised at how well of a job they did. It's on Netflix, but it was an FX show originally with Sarah Paulson, John Travolta, and Cuba Gooding Jr. as O.J., and I started watching, I was like, oh, my God, I forgot that happened. I could not believe how many people were I mean, they had actual footage of some of that stuff. Could not believe how many people were lined up on his street when he got arrested.
John Travolta did awesome as one of the lawyers. I forget his name. One of the first lawyers that O.J. Simpson had before Johnny Cochran basically took over, but I forget his name now, but John Travolta did a really good job.
Yeah,
it was funny.
And the poor lady who played Marcia, the lawyer Marcia,
yes.
She that had to have been a hard role to play. Sarah Paulson plays Marcia something. I cannot remember her name. The lawyer for the prosecutor. She was crazy. 2 shows I'd like to talk about that are on Netflix, but from other stations. The Magicians was on Sci-Fi, and you don't get a lot of sci-fi stuff, but I thought they did a great job with that. And there's not real big people on that, and TV.com gave it an 8.3, which is pretty decent for TV.com for a sci-fi show. And the other one I definitely want to talk about is Ripper Street. It is another BBC One show.
Yeah, you've told me about that, and I have not tried it yet.
Matthew McFadden, Jerome Flynn, and Adam Rothberg do a great job where one of them plays kind of an American who brings in some of the kind of CSI type stuff, modern ideas for the late 1800s.
Yeah,
in
the
Great
guy
Britain.
from the Game of Thrones. I don't know if it's Jerome Flynn or I'm not sure, but
yeah, Jerome Flynn's from the Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, that it has 3 seasons now, and TV.com even gave that a 9.
Wow.
Which is pretty good for them.
I'll have to give that a shot.
And one you and I talked about before was Aquarius on NBC. It's got 2 seasons now, and I know only one is on Netflix.
Just finished it this week. It's worth watching.
David Duchovny from the X-Files.
Really good.
Anthony, Claire Holt. Let's see.
Charlie Manson.
Jethan Anthony, the guy that plays Charlie Manson, is actually on Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah.
And Claire Holt, the blonde there, and there is in 47 Meters Down that just came out.
Yeah, she's in there too.
Did you ever see Sirens on USA?
I think it's been a while. It's not on Netflix. Oh, is it?
It's on Netflix now.
Yes,
it was only for 2 seasons.
I watched a few.
But I thought that was very good, subtle humor.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Michael Mosley, Kevin Daniels, Kevin Bigley. Michael Mosley was also on Scrubs, which Mr. BS brought up earlier.
Yeah.
And Kevin Bigley, who's kind of like the third string guy on that, is on The Dilemma with Vince Vaughn.
Have you tried the new Twin Peaks? Oh, no, the Twin Peaks came back out on Netflix, but aren't they doing a new Twin Peaks?
It was on NBC, I do believe, and they tried revitalizing it with a movie, but they brought the TV series back, and they put a whole different twist on it, according to what some people that read the series that I talked to. It is out there.
Is it?
It is.
I know. I remember when it was out the first time. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. That was Isaacs. What's his name? Is it Jason Isaacs? Is the director?
Yeah.
He is loony and stuff. I mean, he did 9.5 weeks and so forth, but he is always out there, and it was kind of like acid trip type stuff at times, but. The new one was it was doing pretty good for about half the season, and then it kind of like was jumping all over the place. Second half of the first season on NBC, but I think it's lasted 2 seasons on it. And I know they did a Twin Peaks, kind of not a remake but revisited type thing, trying to get it spiked beforehand that the show came out, and I think it's online somewhere.
Have you seen? I've seen Narco. And I was wondering if El Chapo is worth watching. You ever seen El Chapo?
I can't speak to that one, but yeah, Narcos did
I really like
job.
Narcos. I thought it was really good. I wasn't sure about it, but I watched every season and every episode. It was really good. But I think it's over now. I only had 2 seasons. And Better Call Saul, do you know when the 3rd season's coming out?
I think it's on right now.
Is it? Okay.
So I don't know when it's on Netflix yet, but I know it's live. It was just finishing up.
I've waited. It'll probably be a while then because I've waited and waited for the 3rd one to come on. So
they usually don't play it until right before the new season
And I haven't
starts.
seen Walking Dead.
It's still going.
I've never seen the last season or
season 7's still going on.
No wonder it's on Netflix. I've been waiting for that too.
Now, a show I never mentioned, I don't think before, I think last year was one of them I wanted to mention to you, and I think I talked to you afterwards, was a Norwegian show called Occupied, where a Soviet Union takes what they call a soft takeover, where they kind of politically influence them on how to do things because Norway was getting ready to go all green type thing, and Soviets came in and said, no, you can't do this. Because they still need the coal and so forth and natural gas to keep them afloat because they got fuel for them. It does, and it's got Henrik Mestad, who's done a few other things, and I think he's even done a few American things. But I really, really like that show. IMDb only gave it 7.7, but I definitely think it should be in the 8s for that one. It was
Looks
well
good.
done. The Norwegians, that and Noble was another show which is a Norwegian military that goes to Afghanistan, and that guy that leads the group for
Axel Henny.
and he's I got to think what else he's in.
Looks pretty good.
He is also he's in a couple other things actually in American. Axel Henny, but that is a very, very well done show. As much as anything, Noble's one. If you like any type of military stuff, that's one you need to put on your list.
Yeah, I like military shows. have to check that out and add it to my list. I've got so many, it'll take me 2 years to watch.
I'm sure I might have given you a few recommendations here tonight, but I can understand if you don't want to watch those things. If we want to go a couple other things, Big Bang Theory's still going. It's in 10 seasons. Jim Parsons, Kaylee Kuko, and John Galecki. It's I feel like any bit of science, but it's still got some humor. It's getting a little bit more and more maybe perverted.
Yeah.
A show I used to like is Hawaii Five-0, and it's actually in its 7th season, which I cannot believe. Alex O'Loughlin, it kills me. They could create so much more drama if it was silence, but I timed one show in a 42-minute show. There was like 35 minutes of music in the background trying to create the drama rather than letting them speak. It was ridiculous. So I stopped watching it after the 2nd or 3rd season. But I still want to. I'm hoping Designated Survivor comes to Netflix or Amazon or something.
Oh man,
I think we covered a lot.
We did really good.
And if those of you that like to watch TV and maybe not as much couch potato, you're more than welcome to email 41jobs at Spreaker or through Facebook and see if there's any other recommendations on what you might like. I'll be happy to help out because I do like to be entertained, not think, and watch TV. It's become my best friend. As Homer Simpson said in one show, he goes up and hugs the TV. It's just great stuff.
And how long of the
27
Simpsons?
Years.
Isn't that crazy?
27 years, 27
That's
or
like
28.
most people's adulthoods. It's crazy.
1989 Christmas episode.
Nuts.
Santa the Little Helper was the first episode on primetime TV, 8 o'clock, and it's kept the same time slot the whole time. Matter of fact, 3 years ago, they were going to cancel The Simpsons. And all the voices, Hank Azaria and everybody, offered to take a pay cut to keep the show on because they believed in it so much. Matt Groening has a following.
Just working one TV show. You worked The
It's
Simpsons your whole life. And
Hank Azaria does like 6 voices for it.
Nuts.
It's unreal what they have been able to do. But the thing is, everything... There's new stuff that happens in the modern world that allow them to create new satire and irony that is going. Who are some of the names there in The Simpsons? Hank Azaria and Dan Castellaneta is the voice of Homer, but Hank Azaria, I think he does 6 or 7 voices for the show. It's amazing what those guys do.
It's awesome. They've been around a long time. But, hey, man, it's been really good. We got two shows out of What's Streaming Part 2, and the Couch Potatoes really hit a home run on his research, whether it was, basically test driving all the research and looking some stuff up. It was awesome.
I spent 2 days getting ready for this.
That's awesome.
That's more than most people.
Yeah, it's great. We'll have to do another one, and another topic.
The dry cell at Irish Stout here at the Tin Man Brewery is definitely a hit with me, and it helped me through the whole night. And our bar wench, Josh, did a great job.
Yeah, it's been awesome. They
Tin
Man Brewery allowed us to come in and do our podcast tonight, and they've been a gracious host. You guys got to check it out. It's in Kokomo, Indiana, downtown Kokomo. Is that Buckeye Street?
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson Street.
Jackson off Washington and Jackson.
Okay.
And
the old depot.
Train depot. And the guests here were more than willing to be part of the show, which we
had
greatly appreciated.
All kinds of people giving good insight on the movies and stuff they watch on streams, and it's been awesome.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here, 41 Jobs, so I'll let you sign it off, and I hope to be on here again. Maybe we can meet up in a few more weeks and do another one.
Let's do it again, man.
1 minute you're here, and the next you go.